Good days, another Wednesday, Hump Day Real Estate with Kendell. Hey, today's topic, we're going to talk about 2 reasons why today's housing market isn't in a bubble. Then we're going to speak about the key opportunities for home buyers. And then home ownership could be in reach with down payment assistance program for a lot of buyers out there. We don't have any guests today, but we're going to jump in and we're going to start talking about these things. Hope you guys had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Had the extra day off and got to enjoy family, a little barbecue, etc. But let's jump in it. So there's a lot of talk. You're probably hearing the headlines, people talking about there's a housing bubble or crash. But it's important to understand that the data and that some of the experts and opinions tell a different story. A recent survey from Pulseonomics asked over 100 housing market experts and real estate economists if they believe there was a housing bubble. And the results indicate that most of the experts do not think that that's the case. So let's take a look at this. 60% of the experts say there isn't, they don't believe there's a housing bubble. 32% says yes, and 8% say they are not sure. As the graph shows, a strong majority don't believe that there's a housing bubble. So why do we think there's one? I will tell you, the last time that there was, when it happened in 2008, there were a large number of people that agreed that we were in a bubble. I think I just messed up because I did not share my screen. So this is what I was talking about. Sorry, folks. A little technical difficulty today. So this is what I was talking about. There's 60% that said no, 32% said yes, and 8% said they were not sure. So there's some reasons why this isn't like 2008. The recent growth in home prices is because of demographics and low inventory. It's not about folks have bad mortgages, can't pay their mortgages, foreclosures are rising and all of that stuff. Credit risks are low because underwriting and lending standards are sound. They're the best, probably most people might say, in years. Pre-2008, I've seen where folks who just came up and all they needed to show is that they had some type of payment, and folks got loans. They were not in a position to buy a house. They just made enough so that they can afford the payments. They did not know how they were going to make the repairs and all for that property. The supply of homes available for sale needed to sustain normal real estate market is approximately 6 months. Anything more than that is overabundance and will cause prices to depreciate. Anything less than that is the shortest and will lead to continued price appreciation. So what we have is the appreciation because the homes that most people are interested in buying that are coming to the market, there are very few of those homes that are actually coming to the market. So we don't have that that overabundance of sellers putting their homes in the market. And here's another one. Now, so the inventory of homes is nothing like last time. So as the graph shows, there were too many homes for sale in 2007 to 2010, many of which were short sales and foreclosures and caused prices to tumble. Today, there's still a shortage of inventory, which is causing ongoing home prices and appreciation. So way different, folks, than 2007 to 2010. Look at the difference here of the number of homes of the inventory. This inventory is very, very, very low. And so with the prices rising because there's a healthy demand of home ownership, at the same time, there's a limited supply of homes. This came from Mr. Kushi, Deputy Chief Economist of First American. He explained fundamental driving house prices growth in the US remain intact. The demand for homes continues to exceed the supply of homes for sale, which is keeping home prices growth high. Mortgage lending standards today are nothing like the last time. During the housing bubble, it was much easier to get a mortgage than in today's market, like we just spoke about. Here's a graph showing, but we don't have the graph for the lender, but the volume of loans in which a credit score is 620. So they're speaking about how much higher folks have established their credit scores today. Folks are in order to qualify for most loans, you need at least a 640 credit score. And for conventional, you're upwards 700. So this is nowhere near this 2007, 2008 through 2010 mark. We're in a whole nother ball game. Bottom line is the majority of experts agree that we are not in a housing bubble, folks. Stop listening to the folks. Stop listening to the whatever news channel you listen to. They're always sparking bad information into the community. The home prices are backed by the growth. It's showing that the strong market. The fundamentals and lending standards are much tighter today. If you have questions, let's connect and let's talk about what the actual facts are, what's going on, what's the difference from 2008 and today. You can always reach me and we can just to discuss those matters. Let's get into the next thing, the key opportunity. The key opportunity for home buyers. So folks, there's no denying that the housing market has delivered a fair share of challenges to home buyers over the past 2 years. Two of the biggest hurdles home buyers faced during the pandemic were the limited number of homes for sale and the intensity and frequency of the bidding wars. But those two have reached turning point, and that's what we're actually facing right now. We're actually facing the fact that the pandemic sparked interest in buyers who had not recently thought about getting in the market where the inventory was already low. And with those buyers coming into the market, they took us out of a normal seller's market and put us into this very hot seller's market. And that's where we got into the inflation of all the home prices. And as you may have already heard, the number of homes for sale has increased this year and even more this spring. As Danielle Hill, Chief Economist for Realtor.com explains, new listings, a measure of sellers putting homes up for sale, were up 6% above 1 year ago. Home sellers in many markets access the country continue to benefit from rising home prices and fast selling homes. That's prompted a growing number of homeowners to sell homes this year compared to last, giving home shoppers much needed options. So I've seen some of this in the DC and Maryland market. One of the things I'm actually seeing is, again, even though there's an increase of inventory, the inventory might not be the inventory that's highly desired by most buyers. So that still creates a demand for those buyers who are actually interested in specific things that they're interested in, not wanting to go in and do any repairs to a home and all of that. And just to say, this is encouraging news. More homes are coming onto the market, giving you a greater chance of finding one that checks all your boxes. So what this means, folks, what it means in the real estate world, it means that the hot seller market is now switching back to a normal seller's market. So we're not looking at a buyer's market yet. A lot of folks are looking for it to switch back to a buyer's market. We run in cycles, and what's happening is the hot sellers market is cooling down, and we're running into a buyer's market. I mean, not a buyer's market, a normal seller's market. So buyer's competition moderated helps inventory grow even more. So Mark Fleming, chief economist at First American, says inventory growth is happening not just because there's an increase in the number of listings coming onto the market, but also buyer demand has moderated some in light of higher mortgage rates and other economic factors. There's been a pickup in inventory that we haven't seen recently, but it's not from a big increase in new listings, but rather a slowdown in the pace of sales. And remember that month supply measures the inventory of sales relative to the pace of sales. Some inventory, fewer sales means more month supply. The pandemic is and that's helping available inventory grow. And the latest forecast, Realtor.com also mentioned the moderation of demand as the key factor and projects the inventory growth should continue as rising inflation and mortgage rates bring U.S. housing demand from 2021 frenzy. Inventory will grow double digits over 2021 and offer buyers better than expected chance to find a home. How this impacts you. The combination of more homes coming onto the market and a slower pace of home sales mean you'll have more options to choose from as you search for your next home. That's great news if you've been searching for a while with little or no luck. Just remember, there isn't a sudden surplus of inventory, just more homes to choose from than even a few months ago. So you'll still want to be decisive and move fast when you find the right home for you. And when you do, you may be faced with less competition from your buyers as well. If you've been waiting to jump into the market because the intensity of bidding war was intimidating, or if you've been outbid on several homes, this moderation could help make the home buying process a bit smoother. It's not that it will be easier for bidding wars and things of the past. That's not the case, but it won't feel nearly as impossible as what was previously going on. So what was previously going on, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 over asking price, some of that stuff is starting to scale down. But it still may be a thing of you may be in a market where 6 months ago it was 50,000 over, now maybe it's 15 to 20, because there's less people in the market at this time. So things are starting to just mellow out just a little bit. Bottom line is the housing markets begin to shift back to a pre-pandemic levels. You can have a unique opportunity in front of you with moderating levels of buying competition and more homes actively for sale. Your home search may have gotten a bit less challenging, and this is what's going on in the market right now. So keep your mind open on these things. This is now, we always hear now is a great time to buy. I tell you what, anytime you're looking at an opportunity to build wealth, anytime you're looking at an opportunity to become your own landlord, there's an opportunity to buy real estate. Because whether interest rates are 16%, 13%, 8%, 3%, if you look at what real estate has done for folks, it has, for 2008, the tremendous drop, and then pretty much bounced back, surpassed what homes were selling for even in 2007. So if you're looking for a wealth building strategy, if you're looking to outbeat the rental market, $255,000 house you get for $1,900 a month, but the same house is renting for $2,500. I mean, you tell me, $400 or $500 saving. There's a couple other things that you talk to your tax preparer about in order to get you some more money bringing home now that you're a homeowner, etc. There's quite a bit of things there that you can now do with your taxes and all, and I think it's a W-4 for at your job. So talk to your tax advisor and find out what those things are, and does it really make sense, even though the interest rates are higher, for you to still be in the market to find a home. Home ownership could really be in reach with down payment assistance programs. I have folks on the show. Pretty soon we'll have somebody on the show, and we'll talk about the Maryland Mortgage Program, and even try to dig up the HPAT and other programs that they actually have in the DC area. But a recent survey from Bankrate asked prospective buyers to identify the biggest obstacles in their home buying journey. It found that 30% of those polled said saving for a down payment is one of their primary hurdles to buying a home. If you feel the same way, the good news is there are many down payment assistance programs available that can help you achieve your home ownership goals. The key to understanding where to look and learning what options are available, here's some information that can help you. So there's a couple different ways. There are lenders out there, there are websites out there. If you Google and put in down payment assistance programs in your area, those things will pop up, or you can reach out to me and I can share some information with you. But we're going to have Hump Day Real Estate is going to have information for that, so that you don't have to do all that digging to find out exactly what you need for down payment assistance or anything real estate related. You could qualify even if you purchased a home before. So you don't have to be, it's not first time home buyers. I kind of hate when I hear folks say first time home buyers. First time home buyers is normally, when folks are really speaking of that, is normally they're talking about FHA loan, which they created the FHA loan and lowered the down payment from the 20% for conventional, which allowed most people who didn't have a sizable amount to put down to be able to purchase a home, which today that is 3.5% down. So in some cities, especially Baltimore, that's a big thing, is the first time home buyers program, because in some of the programs you do have to be first time home buyer to participate. But there's other programs out there, even for folks who are current owners and selling their homes, etc. So let's keep that in mind. There's several misconceptions about down payment assistance programs. For starters, many people believe there's only assistance available for first-time home buyers. While first-time home buyers have many options to explore, repeat buyers have some too. According to the latest home ownership program index from downpaymentsource.com, it is a common misconception that home buyer assistance is only available for first-time home buyers. However, 38% of home buyer assistance programs in Q1 of 2022 did not have a first-time home buyer requirement. That means that repeat buyers could qualify for over 1/3 of assistance programs available. And if you're a repeat buyer, you may still be able to take advantage of some of the first-time home buyer programs, depending on your personal situation. That's because downpaymentresource.com also notes many of the first-time home buyer programs use the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's definition of first-time home buyer. Under their definition, you could only qualify as first-time home buyer if you're someone who hasn't owned a primary residence in 3 years, a single parent who's only ever owned a home with a former spouse. In addition to broader options available to people, let's go back, wait a minute. You may be eligible to programs based on your location or profession. In addition to broader options available to repeat first-time home buyers, there are other types of down payment assistance programs that you could qualify for based on your location. According to the National Association of Realtors, many local governments and nonprofit organizations offer down payment assistance grants and loans targeted to area borrowers and often with specific borrower requirements. Plus, there are programs and special benefits for individuals working in certain professions or unique statuses, including teachers, doctors, nurses, and veterans. So we're going to have a special guest here at some point. As soon as he is available, I'm going to get him on to talk about his physician down payment loan program that he has. We're gonna get some folks to talk about that. Ultimately, that means there are many federal and state and local programs available to explore. The best way to do that is to connect with local real estate professional and your lender to learn more about what's available in your area. You stopped at the right place, folks. This is where Hump Day Real Estate with Kendell is where you will get all the resources you need to find out about any real estate need, first-time home buyer, investor, etc. Bottom line is down payment assistance programs have helped many home buyers achieve their dreams, and if you qualify, they could help you too. So folks, there is the opportunity, and there's been opportunities out here, whether you're a move-up buyer, or a first-time home buyer, to actually get assistance, down payment assistance to help you with purchasing a home. The number one thing I tell people is, look, let's say right now, if you go rent a house and it's $3,000 for the rent, you got to put up almost $6,000 anyway, right? And that's probably for a house that may be selling for maybe $300,000 or $400,000. So let's do a little simple math. Let's say $400,000 at 3%, that's $12,000. We want to put $6,000 up anyway. Now, closing costs and all is included. It's increased the price a little bit. But when you look at your savings per month, tax shelters, again, I'm not a tax advisor. Talk to your tax person for that. Your appreciation and equity building in the property. So when you pay your principal balance of your mortgage payment pays the principal down, and then the appreciation sets in, which I think the norm has been 3 to 5% a year, and it's been almost 30% in the last couple of years. From that gap, that's what helps you start building wealth. So folks, I really want you to think about home buying in general. I want you to pay attention closely to the experts when they're talking about market shifts, crash, stock markets, and everything when it comes to trying to help you make decisions, especially when it comes to building wealth. Because what you don't want to do is take what we've seen folks in the news, just any Joe Blow jumping up and saying this is going to happen, the world is going to fall and blow over, and you procrastinate, you don't do anything, or you take the wrong step. We want you guys to have the American dream, and the American dream is only taking steps forward, not backwards. So I appreciate you again. Come back and see us next week on Hump Day Real Estate. Enjoy the remainder of your week. Have a blessed weekend coming. And I thank you again for checking in with me.